And this week's episode of Star Wars Rebel was really, really interesting. Episode always to the R. Made it in Yoda style, because in that way, how the title was pronounced, only Yoda can say in that way. So you get the point. So this episode was really interesting, and finally we have the first appearance of the Seventh Sister and the second one of the Fifth Brother. And of course, the episode just started, with particularly just Kanan and Ezra arriving in the common room of the ghost ship and everything, trying to to learn how to levitate, object, especially who is the guinea pig, Chopper. And of course, he just followed Kanan's teaching and everything. And of course, he didn't even notice that Sabine and Chopper made a prank, so Chopper, can nail his feet, on the ground, and so he can not levitate for 100%. And of course, there you have out of nowhere where Rex told him, like, don't only use the Force, but also your eyes, because you can see that Chopper was just making fun of you. And of course, there's where you have when Ezra said, that it's not fair, and Kanan also explaining that every single fight is not fair. And of course, where Rex also told him about the Jedi General, which also is none other than Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader. He just, thought, beside and how he became a great warrior by combining the Force, with his wits. And that's where you have, Kanan and Rex being a fight. I cannot, Kanan is really becoming a pain in the ass. When you always, every single time, trying to angrily arguing with Rex and everything, trying to tell him that his theories are wrong and everything, like soldiers are not so smart than the Jedi and wise and all the kind of shit, crap and everything. Who can blame him? He saw his own master, Deba Bilaba, being killed by the clones when he was young, and he was running all his life, trying not to be fired and everything, because, like Kanan said, his last words of his master were, "Run." So, who can blame him? But really, for this time, he could really, somehow befriend the clone. Come on, Kanan. Don't be such a hard-headed jerk. So, but I repeat again, I cannot blame him. What happened to him in the past, I cannot really blame him. But let's move on. So, after to say, there you have, Hera just coming out and showing up a mission for Sabine, Chopper, and Zeb, to salvage from medical supplies, from an old, Republic medical base, which also is, I actually remember, like Sabine said, he was used during the Clone Wars, and destroyed, closed up at the end of the Clone Wars, and it was that abandoned Republic medical station, which I remember from the Clone Wars. I don't actually remember which season and which episode, but I remember seeing the design and everything, and in the show words I remember it. So it was really kind of cool to see old things when we saw in the Clone Wars. So it was really kind of interesting to see that. And of course, there's another other scene I really particularly find interesting. But before I get to that, I just only wish to say, is one of the good things, good quotes that Ezra said, when Kanan and Rex were picking a fight, who's gonna teach him, being a good Jedi, Rex or Kanan? Because like Rex said, because if you don't know how to learn him, I will teach you, how to become a Jedi. And of course, when the Sabine, Chopper, and Zeb, get the mission, he just sneak out to their mini ghost ship and saying, I would rather go to a mission out there somewhere, nowhere, in the galaxy, than listening arguing, to all those two bozos. And somehow he had a point. Kanan, Kanan, it's time for you to try to trust the clones. It's really time. After all these years, I know it's hard for him. I know it's hard. I repeat again for the second time. I know it's hard, but you have to trust them. After all this time, you have to fucking trust them. But let's move on. So, they have another scene. You have the Star Destroyer, after Sabine, Zeb, Chopper, and Ezra arrive there and everything. And of course, in the abandoned medical station, there you have the other scene. In the Star Destroyer, Admiral Constantine, and of course, Agent Callas, just arguing, why Darth Vader is sending this Inquisitor for something that even the soldiers can do, or should I say, the Stormtroopers can do, which, in my point, is bullshit. They cannot deal with the Jedi. The only way to deal with the Jedi is to send an Inquisitor or a Sith Lord, for that matter. So they can really deal with the Jedi, not the soldiers. The soldiers, they can complete normal missions, like go on a planet, destroy it, or take some, files, or things, whatever. Fuck it, you know what I mean. but against the Jedi, no, they cannot. That is a job for an Inquisitor, and if really is really hot, you can send the Sith Lord for that matter. So let's move on. So there you have the fifth brother just staring into the universe, trying to make a contact, force contact, with the rebels, or should I say Ezra and his friends and everything. Of course, there you have an officer telling that there's some problems, with the abandoned Republic medical station and everything. And of course, say maybe there are scavengers. There's nothing to worry about. Maybe they're scavengers. Maybe they're a mistake and everything. And of course, fifth brother just came out of nowhere, and he scared the shit out of them in the way how they looked at him. Well, how really fast he just came there. And of course, there you have him saying, no. I know a Jedi when I can sense him in some sort of way, if you know what I mean. So, and he said, okay, I suppose there is one of your, disturbance in the Force. And of course, it is. Because when you sense a Jedi or a Sith, it's some kind of a disturbance. Even when you sense children of the Force. In the way how they call it. So, of course, he said, okay, put the course, to that abandoned medical station, of course, and of course, fifth brother said, like he said in the ending of the second episode, I don't need your assistance, Agent Callas. I will go to the medical station by myself. And with that, you can see he's a tough guy. Like he doesn't need any help. He will do everything by himself. Because sometimes, you know what I meant. Sometimes if minions failed and you can see they're useless, sometimes a good villain had to make a jump. He's gonna have to do everything by himself if he wants a job well done. And that's true. So after that, after all the searching and everything, and after Chopper, just pulled all the lights, at the medical station, giving up, their destination and everything, exactly where they are, because one of the seeker droids, little droids, that the Seventh Sister had. One of them, just see where they are, and of course he contacted the Seventh Sister, and she said, I'll be right there. And of course, here we have, out of nowhere, we're trying to search, for the medical supplies for the rebels and everything. There you have, a really interesting, funny scene there we have, where Ezra is challenging Zeb, in who's gonna find, the medical supplies first and everything. And there you have, out of nowhere, just Ezra drop all the, all the cubes, just on him and everything, and say, hey, that's not fair. Okay, it's part of the game. No, fuck it, because sometimes you just need to put your head, up, and everything will be solved and everything. And then you have nowhere he banged, he banged with his head, dropped down on the floor, and of course, Sabine, you were saying, that was really funny to see it. It was really funny. And after all that, all what was action, really big action. So after all that, real funny scenes and everything, there you have for the first time the Seventh Sister. I mean, it was really kind of cool, and intimidating, when she came out of darkness along with her secret droids and everything. And of course, Ezra tried to engage the new Inquisitor in a fight, while Sabine, took on the prop droids, which also in this episode we can see they're really deadly, because every time they have a really strong grip. And of course, when they try to grip your victims, they put that little electrocution all around your body, so they can make you fail, and weaker in some point. So quickly enough after that, they were overpowered. They made a run for it, of course, and bumped, of course, who else than Fifth Brother, which I thought was really quick. How the hell he arrived there, because I didn't see any shuttles or TIE fighters, specific that which he was on. So really, it was really kind of funny, seeing that it really, in some quicker way, he just arrived there. And of course, I'm saying quicker way. What kind of way he can just simply fast arrive there? Of course, just using the hyperspace. Duh. Silly me. And of course, after getting a shut door open, the two of them attempted to try to flee, but Ezra was caught by of course the prop droids. Sabine tried the same, but of course Ezra told him to run and to cover her escape, so he sealed the door, leaving him, to be captured by the two Inquisitors. And there's where you have, one of the interesting parts, there you have the interrogation scene between the Seventh Sister and, of course, Ezra, which also we find out a little bit, a lot of information, about the Seventh Inquisitor, and Seventh Inquisitor, sorry, I mean the Seventh Sister, because it appears like, when the fifth brother tried to attack him, tried to kill him. Even he said to her like, "They're mine, kill. No, they're not yours," and everything. And it goes, and she even said, "Oh, you're surprised to see me." So it appears like the fifth brother was sent by Darth Vader, but it appears like the seventh sister didn't. So it appears like she was working independently, without Darth Vader knowing that she was even in the action. So I don't know if the Inquisitors can be allowed to do that, because as far as I know, Darth Vader is their own leader and they only obey his own orders. And even when he ordered them to go in action, they go in action. If they donate, they donate. So I know Darth Vader does he knows about that. I don't know. So there you have the interrogation scene and everything. Of course, the seventh sister tried to do all her best to trying to to make him talk. Where is Ahsoka Tano? Where are the rebels and everything? Because in a way, like the Inquisitor, trying to target Kanan, the seventh sister did almost in the same way. She likes to torture people, trying to make them take out all the information out of them and everything, instead of killing them like the fifth brother would. So that's why it was really kind of interesting. Even in the way when she was talking about the Ahsoka Tano was really kind of interesting, because it appears like she was like obsessed with her. Because I don't know. I mean, I'm really interested because she wasn't interested in the rebels. I mean, even if their job is to know the location of the rebels, she was really interested in Ahsoka Tano, because in the way how she was talking about her, like she had she was having some kind of unfinished business with her. Something like that. I mean, I don't know. But in a way, because I remember, that the seventh sister is on the same race as Luminara Unduli, and of course, Barriss Offee. So, what if, here's a crazy thought, what if seventh sister is connected with Barriss Offee? What if she's connected with Barriss Offee or even Luminara Unduli, and in that way, she knows about Ahsoka Tano? I don't know. Maybe she has some kind of unfinished business with her. I don't know. I mean, it's yet to have to be fully explained because it's only the beginning of the season 2. But there's a lot of things that have to be explained. And also in this episode, I forgot to mention that we even find out about the Inquisitor from the season 1, which actually is not an ordinary Inquisitor, is the Grand Inquisitor. It appears like the Grand Inquisitor, which also means, like even Dave Filoni said, he was the leader of the Inquisitors. Because, I mean, that's fair enough, because even Darth Vader is the real leader of the Inquisitors. The Inquisitor also, they have to have someone grand, so they can follow orders of him. Because every single time, there has to be a Grand Inquisitor. Because every single time that Darth Vader gives the Grand Inquisitor order, or the Grand Inquisitor does this job by himself, or he sends someone of the other Inquisitors. And like the Seventh Sister said, he was really surprised and unexpected that Kanan defeat him, and he died. In other words, she even mentioned that the other Inquisitors, with his death, it's presented to them, as a new opportunity. Somehow maybe to reveal themselves, or maybe show the others, or so for example, show Darth Vader, for example, they are strong, capable of dealing with such a mission, something like that. Because like even the Seventh Sister said, she and the fifth brother are not the only ones who are seeking, for Ezra and Kanan. And that was really odd. So it appears like there are other Inquisitors around the galaxy trying to find them and kill them. If that's true, they're screwed up. I mean, I thought that Darth Vader is the only one who can send Inquisitors. I mean, it would be crazy if he sent all of them. Really crazy and unexpected. But, I don't know, we're gonna see. If that's true, they're screwed. If that's not true, then we're gonna have one Inquisitor by another. It's really interesting to see in the way, because like I said, in this also episode we find out that the fifth brother is not completely blind, he's only short-sighted. So in a way, somehow he can see what's going on, somehow. But it was really kind of cool seeing, just going around, the medical station trying to find Zeb and Sabine, and of course, even if he is a little bit blind, he say, your fear betrays you. And of course, Sabine and Zeb, they make bombs, just put bombs all over the place, all the boxes, trying to make the fifth brother explode. And of course, somehow he knew that there were bombs in it. And of course, when Sabine tried to, detonate them, the most coolest part was, he was holding the bombs not to explode with the force. And of course, when they tried to escape, he sent them back to them, using their own weapons against them. It was really kind of cool, really, really cool. And of course, the fifth brother had taken Sabine with him and everything. And Zeb, was dealing with the secret. Zeb had destroyed all the secret droids. He finally, find the medical supply for the rebels, and of course he also find the knockout Chopper, because at the beginning of the episode, there you have Chopper, in the main control room and everything. Of course, the secret droids, try to make him go out of the room, and of course they knocked him out, and also took his recording, so they can put Ezra and Sabine into a surprise trap. So after like I said, Zeb find the Chopper and everything, and say okay, Chopper, come with me. And of course the fifth brother took Sabine to Ezra, because after his seventh sister, after trying even use with the Force the pain, trying to make Ezra, or should I say persuade him to tell me where the rebels are, especially Ahsoka Tano, because in that way I really understand she's really obsessed with her and everything, but whatever, we go to that. So I don't know, she tried everything. Of course, Ezra will always keep his mouth shut, which also I really respect her. In that way, you can see he's a real tough, warrior and everything, and of course a Jedi. Because also Ezra also tells the seventh sister, because otherwise if you, I can keep my mouth shut, because you you look and sound like a broken protocol droid. Always talking. It was really kind of funny, to see that. And of course they have fifth brother bringing, like I said, Sabine there and everything, and of course she even asked the seventh sister if he revealed something. Of course, seventh sister, nothing that I wish to tell you. And of course there you have Zeb in the mini ghost ship, trying to think what I'm gonna do, trying to attack the Inquisitors, or just go away with the medical supplies for the rebels. And of course Chopper saying he's trying to say to Chopper, and of course Zeb said, you don't know what the fuck I'm saying, is it? And I was my life, everybody knows everything, but I'm the only one who doesn't know nothing, And the way, some way he was trying, in the beginning he was acting like a coward, and then after saying, I came with these children, I know these children, and I'm not gonna go without them. So, Chopper, you and I are gonna think a plan. And there you have, he tried to contact Ezra, as Commander Meluron, in the same way, the same joke codename he used in the episode in the first season, Fight or Flight. It was really kind of fun to see that, and it was going to say, this ghost ship one, over, call, Commander, Commander Meluron here, is everything alright, do you have any problems? And of course, Sabine tried to protect Zeb, saying okay, there's no trouble and everything. Of course, fifth brother, okay, saying that you need him, or I'm gonna cut off her head. And of course, Ezra, okay, no, we need you, we have some broken items now of our ship and everything, whatever. So of course he said, okay, don't worry, because I'm gonna contact Kanan and Ahsoka Tano, and just came there, to everything will be fine. And of course at the least, at the end of the message, he said, chin up, everything will be fine. And of course, both of them were wondering what the hell he said there. They're surrounded by two Inquisitors. How they can chin up? And of course, there you have. He said he's gonna find him on base 6, and of course they have his seventh sister and then fifth brother trying to go there, and saying when they know the other Ahsoka Tano and Kanan will arrive there, all the other rebels, we're gonna dispose of them very slowly, because it appears like not only she's very a good manipulator, but also she likes to kill people slowly and painful, which not all villains but like to do that. Because a lot of villains they always just kill them all at once without suffering and everything, but the real villains who are powerfully psychopathic, they love killing people slowly and painful. And that seventh sister is one of them. So after being there, they were waiting and everything, and as I was wondering what the hell he wanted to say, chin up and everything, and there you have, looking up there, seeing, with the mini ghost, as Zeb saying okay, calm down, I'm gonna come here and everything, and after the time is right, there you have, Zeb with his spaceship, with a mini ghost ship, with Chopper, trying to attack, the fifth brother and the seventh sister, and of course in that way, so they can make them escape, Ezra and Sabine, and of course they try to, but of course, not this way, because they both of them using the Force, trying to make, the mini ghost ship, to block, to no go anywhere, and of course, the fifth brother trying to take the ship, and seventh sister, block the entrance. And of course, when the fifth brother tried to use the lightsaber and everything, the seventh sister could not, of course, mostly control both of the things in the same time. And of course, the others all escape and everything, leaving the Seven Sisters on the floor and angry. So after they finally escape and everything, there you have, Rex and Kanan still, continuing arguing, who's gonna be, Ezra's master and everything. Like, Captain Rex knows better than him and everything, like, Kanan really, have to start, respecting, should I say, not respecting, but befriend the clones. The time has come for real that. Even if I don't blame him, the time has come to do that. So, after being said and everything, of course, he tried to, to angrily, discuss it with Ezra, and of course, as I was saying, they kept in contact with the two Inquisitors, and everybody was shocked and panicked. And the end of the episode was, that Kanan, and everybody was worrying, like, 2 new threats are coming after them and everything, and that was the end of the episode. So, the episode, like I said, was really cool. I'm really, was really excited to see the fifth brother and seventh sister in action and everything. And it was really wondering on the way when the seventh sister said that her and the fifth brother are not the only Inquisitors who is after Kanan and Ezra. I mean, if every single Inquisitor is coming after them, they really are screwed, completely screwed. But if there are only 2 of them, okay, it's fine. So that means that we're gonna have another Inquisitor one step by another. So that's all the episode. Rate the video, comment, subscribe. Again, for me, someone which personally think about this episode. What do you really think, about the seventh sister, the fifth brother? Do you really think that all the other Inquisitors are still after Kanan and Ezra, like those 2? Do you really think that why seventh sister is interested in Ahsoka Tano? Do you really think he have some connections with Barriss Offee or Luminara and Dooley? We're gonna find out. If you don't know, we're gonna find out. I know soon. Or we're gonna find out in this second season. So drop your like, I'd appreciate it. Peace, everyone. Have an awesome rest of the day, and may the Force be with you.